Already I saw this on the X. A British South Asian couple mock Britain and its reliance on immigrants. The sheer arrogance and ungratefulness is bewildering. Don't like it here or the people? Then leave. Well, I'll pop in the video and we'll take it from there.
Finally, Britain will be British again. Alright mate, when you're looking for a chow mein or maybe a chicken madras on a Saturday night, where you gonna go?
Restaurants, be they fast food or sit down, they're nice, but they're not needed. Also, people can learn to make their own food, which is not actually a bad thing. I would say cutting the unnecessary stuff would be good because it would allow the natives to thrive and not slowly be, genoed. For what? Friggin' fast food or restaurants?
Or what you're going to do when you need to go and get your teeth checked and there's no dentist available.
I don't think the UK would lose all its dentists. Might lose some, but that being said, if you cut back on the people, you won't need as many dentists because there won't be as much of a demand for dentists because, less people. The government could incentivize people to become dentists. Now, how could they do that? Well, money. It is the honey, after all. If dentists were in so high demand, which technically should cause the wages of dentistry to go up, which means you make more for being a dentist because it's in such high demand. Yay, capitalism.
Alright mate, when you're looking for a taxi, where are you gonna find the taxi driver?
Are taxi drivers needed? No. I've managed to get through my life with only using a taxi once, like decades ago. And even back then I thought it was really expensive. It's probably like 10 times as much. Is losing taxis worth cutting back on all the immigration? Yes.
Or when you're putting your parents in an old care home, who's going to care for them?
Why do people put their parents in old folks' homes? 1, they can't afford to take care of them. 2, they don't have space to take care of them, for them to live. And 3, their parents are very, very ill. If you got rid of the immigrants, the cost of housing would go down, which means more people could afford housing, which means their elderly parents could live with their children. Now here's what the government could do to encourage people to take care of their relatives, their elderly family members. Tax incentive. Oh hey, you're taking care of your elderly parents? Well, here's a tax incentive, tax reduction.
Alright mate, when you're looking for a doctor, where are you gonna go?
So they say the UK wouldn't have enough doctors, so it's the same thing as with the dentists. Now again, less people in the UK means, you'll have less doctors, but you'll have less people needing doctors as well. So again, how can the government fix the doctor shortage? Here's a thought. Apprenticeships. A person wants to be a doctor. They apply for an apprenticeship. And, the government does a background check to make sure they're not criminals or anything. And then if they pass, they can apprenticeship at their local hospital. At the local hospital, basically, they get a job, they get a wage, they learn how the hospital works by doing things like cleaning, right? Janitorial work. And then they slowly work their way up. They go from being a janitor to actually disinfecting medical instruments, right? And then they become basically a nurse, checking in patients and all this and that and assisting doctors. And then they just keep working at it, and then they go to take their test to be a doctor. If they don't pass the exam to become a doctor, well, then they're still technically a nurse, right? And they still get nurse wages. And if ever they want to take the test again, they can.
When you're craving your dessert on an evening at home, who's going to deliver it for you?
So I take it she's talking about the DoorDash and the Uber Eats and such. That's been around for less than a decade. Me personally, if I ever wanted fast food or something, I would get it myself. Why? I don't trust people to get my food for me, because who knows what they'll do to it. And also, I want to make sure my order's correct.
All right, mate. Well, when England can't enter the World Cup because you've only got 7 players left, what are you going to do? All right, mate. Well, when you're looking for a barrister, I guess you have to represent yourself or do the time.
World Cup, 7 players. I'm guessing he's referring to soccer or football, whatever it's called. Oh no, no football. Gee, whatever shall we do? Fun fact, governments have been using games like that to distract the people for a long time, going all the way back to the Romans.
So, Geezer Bro, Britain will not be Britain without all these immigrant working professionals who have made our country great.
They're both wrong. Britain will only be Britain with the native Brits. If they get replaced, then it's no longer Britain. If saving the native Brits means that there's not going to be any cab drivers or soccer players or fast food or Uber Eats, and a little bit less on the doctors, I would say it's worth it. It wouldn't be the first time Europe had a labor shortage. During the Black Death, the Black Plague, there was a huge labor shortage. How did the nobles and kings cope? They offered wages to the peasants. The way I look at it, 21st century Europe has 2 choices. If they don't deport the immigrants, the non-natives, the natives will in time be replaced and will go extinct. All for what? DoorDash, comforts, and the risk of losing some doctors. But if they do deport the immigrants, the cost of housing will go down. Wages should go up. So I would go with the deportation because the chance of having cheaper housing, that's really appealing. And higher wages, even more appealing. Well, anyway, that's it for my thoughts on this matter. Take care out there in Clown World.